generator compartment. Generator sits in there. You can pull off the front lid there and access for service. You've got the main house battery is under that little vented compartment under the propane tanks. That's the main 12 volt for the house. And then the secondary is under this vented compartment over here, and that's the one that feeds the inverter directly. They tag team together under normal operation until the refrigerator draws the current down or draws the voltage down enough, and then this one disconnects and shuts off the fridge. That preserves the main house battery enough power to start the generator, so you can charge the whole system back up again. So that's the way that's set up. The propane, your generator sits up in front, and it's turned on and off from inside, so you don't even need to worry about that. Propane's in here. To change the propane, you pull a knob, slide them out. So you got two tanks here that are available. Switch here on top to tell it which one you want to use, and it tells you how much you got if you're red or green power wise in the little window there. That works well. In this cabinet here, we kept the Blackstone griddle, and the lawn chairs and my golf clubs, all in this pass-through storage on this side, and a fold-up table, and my extending out ladder, and a what do you call those things? Cornhole game. There's your power disconnect. If you're going to leave it unplugged, make sure you turn off the power so you don't drain the batteries. You've got a light available here. This is magnetic catch up against the wall there, and push him on. TV can mount in there with the right keyhole slots, and you've got power available for it. The circuitry up there on top, and that's this side. You've got your water heater. Turn him off. Water heater, or not water heater, furnace exhaust here on this side. The whole underside of this thing is sealed. We'll talk about that later. You've got remote gas line for your Blackstone griddle or whatever you're going to use. Nice four point stairs, fold up. Access here to the back of the refrigerator, and there's a clip here to hold that up so it doesn't bonk you in the head. And this is that's how you turn on the ice maker and the inside water. So if you're on questionable water, you leave that closed until you can get the whole thing sanitized and cleaned up, and you're on good solid water. We've never used the ice maker in our period of using it. Never had a need. Outside bath available from this door here. One of the favorite features is the outside kitchen. You've got your pull-out stove. The backstop here provides prevents it from sliding back in, and it turns the gas on. So it's a multi-purpose device. Little drawer here to keep your some useful outdoor items. Nice little fridge to keep some condiments or beverages, whatever you got going there. You can mount another TV on this door. It folds up, and all of the electrical services for it are inside. We keep our outside eatingware there, and some more storage in here. Two light features. There's a 110 outlet there. You've got LED above here, which lights the whole thing up, and you've got another light here. So if you got in your preparation surface. We usually set the Blackstone up back here, and I put a second gas remote back here. So there's a second gas remote available back there that powered the Blackstone griddle that I set up here. It made a nice little cooking station. So that's the external. One lesson on the sink. The sink works great. The water accumulates in the sink, and it runs out this drain. So if you want to put a hose on it and run it someplace, that's useful. It's only gray water, so it's not going to hurt anything. But it's not plumbed into the main tank. That's just the way it is. And around the back, got the ladder going up to the top. Got the two slides coming out this side. If you need to get into your water heater's right here. Your water access to determine, you're going to pump in some fresh water, you're going to run city water, you're going to your freshwater connection comes in from the bottom, and this marvelous little picture graph tells you right now, if I ran a hose up here, I'd be running city water, or right now we're running off the pump. So if I turn the pump switch on, the pump will pump water out of the fresh tank, or if I put city water in here, it'll run straight in. If I want to fill a tank and get the pump out of the way, switch all the valves to the right, and you'll push water into the tank. To winterize it, they all go down, and to bypass the water heater, you go that way. So it's a pretty nice visual setup. I leave it set up like that most of the time. You've got an outside shower with a quick disconnect. Shove him in there. The faucets work for that. You got your front gray and black drops, and flushes for the two black tanks. Two blank tanks on this guy, front and rear. We'll open the side. This is the other side of the pass-through storage, and in here I would usually keep all my tools that I would use locally here. Any supplies, cleaning supplies for the outside, or electrical adapters to get us into 30 amp power or 15 amp power, and extra bits and pieces would be on this side. The inverter up on top, and the auto level, the wonderful auto level. Amazing how capable they are. And then so a bit on the power auto level system. It's pretty cool. You use the front two jacks to lift the fifth wheel off of the back of the truck and get control of it and separate the truck. You pull the truck out from under and get it away from the fifth wheel, and then you press the auto level button. The first thing it does is lowers the front down until the RV is just about level. Actually, probably just above level. And then it lowers the back two jacks until they both touch the ground, and then it will press up on them and bring the RV up to level, front to back. And then it does side to side, so it'll lift one side then the other side until it achieves level left and right. So once it gets level front to back and level left to right, then it lowers the stabilizing jacks in the middle down until they contact, and then it just lifts up just a little bit more just to take some of the load. So it's a 2 or 3 step process, but it does it all automatically. And the big trick I learned was to put some put wood blocks under each and every jack, and then a couple of extra wood blocks under the lowest ones where you see it's going to go. With these 7-leaf springs, the jacks need a little bit of wood support to make sure they have full extension to get the RV level, and it's good to go. Once you put the jacks down, you drop you tighten up the JT strong arms on the front, and then the one that comes in on the back comes in at an angle. So you just tighten them up and you're good to go. Okay, that's the stabilizers. Up on the front here is the other propane, the third propane. It slides out as well, and you actually no, it just sits there. So you strap it, you unstrap it here, and pop it out, and the controller is up on top. So you just turn him on when you want to use him, and it feeds everything in parallel. One lesson for sure is to you got to make sure that this door is up and secure before you turn the generator on, because the exhaust for the generator blows right against it if it's down. So that's a strong lesson learned. The sewer drops, 2 sewer drops, front black, front gray, rear black, rear gray, one in front of the tires, one behind the tires. Keep the tires covered so you keep the UV off of them, and that's it. I've got a nice lock on it to make sure nobody's going to just pull up and drive it away. You've got your brake disconnect. So when you if the trailer would come separated from the truck, this would pull out. And you probably couldn't hear it because I made too much noise, but you can hear the brakes engage with an electrical click when you do that, and you want to test that every now and then to make sure it's happily releasing like that, and it goes right back in again. You've got your power plug. I store it right up in there. So there's your truck connection. I just keep him stored up there so he's out of the way. You got left and right cameras, and one in the back, and you need to turn the lights on in the truck. Those lights, these are wired into the marker lights. So just turn the lights on in the truck, and your cameras will come on. I've got the camera. Hold on a second. I've got the camera monitor sitting there. You just plug it in the cigarette lighter, and you'll pick up the video signal. There's a booster in the There's a booster wired into the pin box to project the signal up to the truck, and that way you'll see what's going on as you go. While we're here, we've got the auto level. So you just hit the buttons down here and you go through. Jacks are down right now, so the next step for me would be to lift the jacks up. So you just scroll through. What do you want to do? Auto retract rear. I would push that and the jacks would come up. And then when I'm done with that, I would do auto retract all. Let's see, I would lower the back, and then I would probably lift the front to get the truck in place, back the truck under, and then I would hit retract all. That would lift the front, and then stow it all away. We've got JT Strongman on each of the front left, right, and rear left, right. These stabilize it from sway. Got to make sure, one of the lessons is you got to make sure that these are unlocked before you lift the jacks up. So they just twist down like that to lock, untwist, and they'll come back up. As the jack comes up, they'll slide in. They're nice for stabilizing. And I usually put blocks of 2x6 under each jack, just to make sure that the jacks have enough extension to stabilize the trailer. It's one of my lessons, was to make sure I've got at least the low side jacks on a set of blocks, so that they can reach far enough to level the trailer. Otherwise, the jacks error out, and then you got to retract them all 6 inches to get them reset to 0. But it's really helpful to put some blocks on, at least on the low side. And I tend to put them all, I tend to put blocks all the way around and a couple extra blocks on the low side. I carry a bunch with me. I've got a 90 degree adapter on the main power line, just so that it hangs straight up and down instead of coming out here and bending. I think there's less stress there. Place to store the sewer hose. Comes with a simple sewer hose. You'll want to get adapters to fit it into whatever you're going to run it into. Your dump lines here, each one has a extra Valterra valve on it on the end. So instead of when you take the cap off, you'll get no drips. Every time I went someplace, every time you took the cap off, it dripped, and it was an ugly stuff coming out of the drip. So now that Valterra valve's on there, so you hook up your sewer line, then you release that valve. You can see the drips coming out, and then you've got your for this front section. For this front section here, you've got your gray and black here. So the front gray manages the washer dryer, the sink and shower in the master bed. The front black manages the toilet in the master. Right, and that's what comes out of this particular drain here. The other drain is back here. We'll cover that. So the other drain is back here. It has its own dedicated gray and black with its own extra Valterra valve on the outside. This black manages the second bath toilet. The gray tank covers the second bath vanity and the main sink in the kitchen. So everywhere you go, you will be dumping both of these because you'll be using the sink and you'll be using the master at least. Found that useful to know. So tires each have covers on them. This spring, brand new tires, brand new springs, brand new road armor equalizers, brand new shackles. The springs are 7-leaf. I don't know if we can see it in there, but the springs are 7-leaf springs. They've held up much better than the original 6s. They are Lippert springs, Lippert standard springs, so they're available. They're just not the ones that they originally put on this thing. So new brakes, new bearings, and the brakes that are on this are auto adjust brakes, so you don't have to fiddle fart with adjusting the brakes. They have the auto adjusting mechanism built in, so that's pretty cool. And we'll go around the back. So on the back we got the ladder, climb up, easy climb up to the top. Sweep off the slide outs if you've had them out for any period of time and you're parked anywhere near trees. You want to clean them off before you bring them in. You don't want to trap crap in the seals. There is a hitch on the back. I would say that hitch is most useful for bicycles or something like that. I would not. It's not recommended to actually tow anything with it. It's to lift stuff. You could put a grill mount on the back. You could hang bicycle mounts, that kind of stuff. Pretty useful for that. And your rear camera, pretty decent rear camera we got for it, and you can see real well. And on the screen, it's got both the grid, like on a rear backup camera for a car. It's got the grid of where you're headed and what's in back of you. You can see it pretty well, and you can actually hear it. You can turn the audio on and hear somebody saying, go left, go right, stop, etc. Let's go up on the roof. So the roof, just to see what's going on here, the roof is clean. It's in good shape. You got your 2 air conditioners. You've got the fan covers over all 3 of the power fans. The master bath up front, the kitchen in the middle, and the guest or the half bath in the back. You've got the over-the-air antenna in the front. You've got vents for each of the baths and plumbings, and you've got a sunroof over the master shower, and you've got a sunroof over the bunkhouse. Each of the awnings is in decent shape. You can see them rolling on the sides. There are no slide toppers on this, so you sweep off the tops of the slides before you pull them in. Keeps the leaves and sticks and pine needles and whatnot from getting caught in the seals. That's a really good practice. Nice shape. I've touched up the sealant where it's gotten wimpy. Before I put these Max covers on, the kitchen vent had accumulated some dryness in its sealant, and it had dripped on me one rainy day. So I noticed that, just zipped up some seal, and we ended up putting these covers on just to double make sure there wasn't water going anywhere. So it's in good shape. It's a nice looking roof for a 2017. All right, that's that.